ready.
So in a shocking turn of events, Walmart actually did not cancel my pre-orders, and they actually shipped me my Clone Wars, or actually I should say Bad Batch, Black Series clones. And expect reviews on this guy, Rex, and Imperial Crosshair coming. But we're starting off with the first one that was up for order, and the first one I got, that is the Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. And this figure's pretty cool. I actually really like it. It's probably one of my favorite uses of the new Clone Trooper body. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that in the review. But let's set him off to the side real quick and let's just show, yep, it's the same box. Like I said, I like these boxes and I really like the side art. I just do not like the gray on the inside. It just makes, like, the gray art mixed with the gray in the back, it just makes it look very bland. I mean, just the gray art is good enough. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the box, I really do like these new boxes. There's the, originally founded in the Clone Wars, the security police would have... Yeah, I'm not going to read that, but you can read it if you want. So, there's a box. That's going to go in the garbage, because even though I just complimented it, I don't keep my boxes. And here we go. Here is our Black Series Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. Now, what makes him Imperial, you might ask? It's that pauldron, I guess. I don't know. Basically, in the show, these shock troopers were basically officers. You know, they could have been captains or commanders. We don't really know. But yeah, they had the pauldrons on. And it's pretty cool that we have, like, a shock trooper that is different. And it would be nice if the pauldron was removable, but unfortunately it's glued on. It would be really nice if they glued the pauldron on in a very nice place on the shoulders, where you could easily remove it and have yourself a normal shock trooper. But unfortunately that was not the case. They put a lot of glue on it. It was very difficult to pull this off. And yeah, it was effortless. I bought 2 of these because I had this plan in mind. I figured I'd go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's seriously just plunk. You know, what they did, though, which is really nice, I was being totally sarcastic, by the way, they just glued it on the shoulders, on the white part, so it doesn't really, like the white part of the shoulder there, so it doesn't really, like, impact the paint at all. It's super easy to pull off. If you want to stick it off and readjust it, like, say, on this one, if you don't like how it's sitting, you can do that. Yeah, it's really great. So yeah, I'm very happy to have 2 of these. I was kind of hesitant at first, like, do I need 2 of them? But seeing both of them, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. Now, it is based on the Clone Wars aesthetic, you know, that the Bad Batch also shares, where they do not have the black stripe on the helmet. I don't really know why Clone Wars didn't do that, and I also don't know why Black Series is so insistent on doing that, even though, for the 501st Jet Trooper in Gaming Greats, they're painting the black stripe on it, so... the consistencies, right? But yeah, this is our new shock trooper. Let's bring in the old one. Let's get this comparison out of the way. So yeah, new body, new shock trooper. This is the old body, the old shock trooper. And if you know my opinion on this old shock trooper, you know that I think it is the one of the worst clones on the old body. Because most of the paint's good, most of it. But you can even see here, comparing these, how the shock trooper helmets work. The red striping goes along the side, and the red chin goes to the edge of the mouthpiece. This one, it kind of stops before it should, you know, stop, and those are more on top. It looks really weird, and I don't like it. Unfortunately, that one has the black trim, and that one does not. You could always just paint it if you want. My brother, what he does, and it's really cool how he does it, he just cuts black electrical tape to shape, puts it on it, totally reversible, looks perfect. I'm thinking about doing that, but for now it doesn't really bug me quite enough to go ahead and do it. But yeah, I mean, for sure, you can see the weathering too. I didn't really like the weathering where it's just all these awkward scratches on the old one. The new one here, it's a little more subtle. It's a little more cut back, but also still looks really good. It's basically just, you know, more intricate tampagraphs for the deco. It's not really like additional deco, except on the shoulder pads. Actually added a little bit of white on that, and I appreciate that. But yeah, let's get the Imperial, I guess, that one out of the way so we can just see a straight out comparison. Honestly, out of both of these, I've normally been team old mold, but on this one, I actually very much prefer the new one. This new helmet, the corrected versions where they've actually fixed it, sure, it is a little more animated in design, but it looks really good. I've definitely warmed up to it. After the debacle of the Camino Trooper and the 332nd, they've corrected the helmet. and it looks a lot better because those helmets, like, they put them on the head and they glued them on and they're all mushed and everything, and it's all uneven and horrible looking. They have not made the same mistake on the new helmets, so that's really good, and I'm happy to see that the shock trooper here continues to not look like crap. Let's go ahead and do this, though, while we're just bringing in comparisons, because it's, you know, the same mold we've already seen 1,000 times. There isn't too much to talk about. Let's not knock into him with his long old gun. Let's bring in their commander, Commander Fox, so we can see how all of them look together. And yeah, I am definitely digging that. I am definitely digging the look of that. It's really cool to have a little bit of a shock trooper force going on in the Black Series. It will be nice to have a little bit more 212th action, because I'm sure we'll get an airborne eventually, and we're getting the Walgreens clone, the Walgreens 212th, which that'll happen eventually. But currently, the 501st is the most bulked out of all of the legions in Black Series. So yeah, man, that's really good looking. Would I recommend getting 2 of these? Honestly, yeah, because I mean, you also do have the leftover pauldron, and you can use that for customs if you want. So if you can manage to grab 2 of these, I would actually recommend it. I don't know if Hasbro's going to go and basically make this its own release. They might, they could. I kind of hope they don't, because as you can see here, it's kind of redundant, because it's very easy to just do it on this new one. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the details already. I do think the pauldron looks good. I actually do think that looks nice on him. There were some that actually had a holster, but there were also some that didn't, so that's not really a complaint I really have on this one. He comes with the DC-15 rifle and the carbine, so you get both of the weapons. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Unfortunately, the chin of the head is kind of poking out on these. You can kind of see it right under the middle ventilation right there. But it's all good. I'm not really too nitpicky on that regard. But yeah, you can see, I mean, the deco, very similar to the old one. And it's the new mold, so it's going to have all the new mold articulation. Where you've got the nice ball joint at the head. It's actually the dumbbell joint. And with the pauldron, it's not that hindered. You can't get as much tilt side to side. But you can see, you can get it moving most of the way, each way. So with the pauldron, it's not too hindered. But with the rest of it, arms go up pretty much all the way. With the pauldron, it's not going to be too hindered. You can see moving forward, it is going to get hindered at a point. That arm, though, is totally free. So yeah, just keep in mind with the pauldron, it will limit it a little bit, but it's a pauldron. We're used to that. Then it's got the elbow. Make sure you don't like bend it too much, because it will actually start tearing that right there. No, he fell. Oh my gosh. These guys have actually been a little stiff on me today, because the weather is starting to get really cold. And if you didn't know, temperature really affects plastic. So getting these guys out of the box when they'd been sitting on the deck for a little bit in the cold, rainy weather, I was like, oh wow, these guys are really stiff. There we go. You can see like his ankles don't really want to move too much for me. But he's got the wrist, he's got the waist. This wrist moves up and down real nice. Legs move forward. Still one of my biggest complaints with the mold is, unfortunately, when you bend the knee armor doesn't really match the bend. But you do get a decent bend, and you do get a swivel out of that. Ankles move up and down, and they tilt. So, yeah, the articulation's pretty good. They are fun figures. I still feel like this new mold is kind of redundant, especially since Hasbro has proven that they constantly do revisit the old mold. So, like, both molds are still ones in use. So there's 2, like, currently active clone bodies in Black Series, which doesn't make too much sense to me. But honestly, this new mold, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's like I said in my original review of it, I feel like it's kind of redundant. Like, it doesn't need to exist. They didn't need to do this. But I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's a fun figure. You get a lot of fun poses out of it. You get a fun time out of it. Yeah, I dig it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my review of the Clone Wars Bad Batch Coruscant. Not really Coruscant Shock Trooper. Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. Yeah, man, these are cool releases. I definitely recommend not only getting 1, but 2 if you want to have yourself a normal trooper and an Imperial officer, I guess. Yeah, these are really fun. Probably, honestly, I hate to say it, out of the 3 clone troopers that just came out from Walmart, this is probably my favorite. Yeah, we'll get into that with Crosshair and Rex. But yeah, these are really good figures, though. I really do like them, and I do recommend them. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to the patrons of Patreon. Special shout out to you guys. You're awesome. Thank you all so much for the continued support. And I hope you guys can get these, because like I said, they're Walmart exclusive. I was able to get a pre-order in myself. A lot of people weren't, especially with Captain Rex. We'll get to that in the Rex review. I'll save that talk for the Rex review. Alrighty, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.